What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It is your friend the Goose, and the Goose is loose, baby. We are coming at you at 4:27 a.m., fresh off of another episode of WandaVision. I've had a little bit of time to get my thoughts together now. Um, so my initial thoughts for about the first 20 minutes of the episode. I was like, oh, so this, I thought last week was kind of filler episode-ish. This really felt filler. And then the final 6 to 8 minutes happened, or really the final like 10 to 12 minutes happened, and wow. Um, I'm gonna go through my notes. I write down the moments that jump out to me. I don't give a beat by beat breakdown because I'm assuming you've watched. If you haven't, go watch. So yeah, also, this is my WandaVision t-shirt from New Rock Stars, a YouTube channel, and I absolutely love it. New Rock Stars on YouTube. You can go on their channel and find the link to their merch. I love the shirt. But let's get into it. So we open the morning after the events of last episode, and Wanda is immediately... She's treating it like a drunken night where she misbehaved and got in a fight with her husband, when it was a lot more than that. Wanda's losing it. That's the bottom line here, and she starts to show it. I think the episode's called like The Fourth Wall. I have it up right next to me. Let's see. Breaking the fourth wall, because it's really just Wanda like going through therapy, talking to like the fourth wall, us, as if we were a therapist for her, essentially. And she's like being really honest about not understanding what's happening. And she says that to the kids. She's like, yeah, you want answers. I get it. I don't have them. And the kids seem a little unsettled by all of this. And then we start to see that things in the world are glitching as well. So not only is Wanda's mental state deteriorating, but so is the physical world around her. Then we get the office opening, which I was hoping was going to be an Easter egg that Jim Halpert would be arriving. Because I'm not going to lie, I've kind of come around on John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic. I wouldn't hate it. I trust Marvel more than I trust myself. So bring it on. But the office opening was cute. I think it had like the Modern Family overlay, like the WandaVision came up in like what I think the Modern Family text is. And Wanda was very much pulling from Modern Family here. Whereas Vision and Darcy were more doing the office thing. And after the credits, we go to Vision waking up and he finds Darcy. And he tries to talk to her, and then he wakes her up. And Darcy comes right back to. She's like, ooh, that sucked. And she's like, I'll give you all the answers you need. Let's get to your house. So they're heading to Wanda. And the sword agent from the first episode where Darcy showed up is like there, and he says the lions just got off stage. And I was like, lions? I really hope there aren't lions roaming around Westview. Jesus. But then Darcy punches that guy in the face, which I thought was funny because he was kind of harsh and rude the first time they interacted. So, eat shit, buddy. And the big thing I noticed here, Vision's eyes are virtual again. I'm pretty sure his eyes have been human eyes up until this episode, and now they're cyber. Like, you can see parts. Look at it. I'm pretty sure this is the first episode where that's the case again. Because it was like that in Age of Ultron, and every appearance before this, I believe, but for the beginning of WandaVision until this episode, he had human eyes. So what does that mean? Wanda's losing her control over him? Then we... Let's see. At what point... We get like this kind of shoehorned in Hayward scene I can't even remember where it happened, but he basically just says we launch today. Whatever that is. I'm assuming it's a plan to infiltrate the Hex to retrieve Vision. He's clearly the asset they're after, based on what we saw last episode and what Jimmy Woo confirms about Project Cataract, which cataracts is when you lose vision of your eye, and dogs get it very commonly. It's when it looks like a sheet of wax paper is over somebody's eye. It's what Vision's eyes looked like when he lost his soul. I think they're trying to weaponize Vision and bring him back without the personality and strictly as a weapon. Let's see. Then Magnus. That's not happening yet, House of M fans. Agnes shows up to take the kids off of Wanda's hands so she can have a day alone time. Sorry, it's 4:30 in the morning. I'm a little tired. But Agnes is like, yeah, of course, I'll take them off your hands, no problem. And then, so Agnes leaves with the kids, stuff glitches again, and it's time for the aerospace engineer reveal. And, it's not time yet. So, in the last moment before the commercial starts, Wanda's doing a confessional in the Modern Family style, where she's sitting in the chair talking to the camera, and she talks about how she's losing control of everything, and a male voice that I went back and listened to, it was not Evan Peters, says, "Well, don't you think maybe this is what you deserve?" And she's like, "Excuse me?" Then later in the episode, they come back to that moment. So I'll give you my theory about what happened there then. Okay, so right before that, though, there's a big glitch. And the Stork reappears from, what was that, episode 3 or 4, where Monica and her interacted? And she couldn't make the Stork disappear. What was that about? Why bring the Stork back? That was very confusing. So I don't really know what's going on there. There's been a theory one of the villains has been in every animal form we've seen. Maybe that's the case. Maybe that's the Stork returning to take back the children that it delivered. That just came to me as we're talking. So then the aerospace engineer reveal, nothing. Unless that cameo meant something to you, I don't know who that was. Apparently it was a friend of Monica's mom, Maria, and she was like, "Thank you. I know you love my mom," and they were like, "It's not only for her," saying like it's for you as well. And that was cute. And they call it a space rover. I still think this is Fantastic Four. I really do. I think they never said who built that. That was just the delivery crew. Maybe Reed built it. Space rover. Maybe this is the one Reed works on to get into space when they get their powers, or the one he already worked on for that reason. Who knows? I still think there's something with the aerospace engineer. I don't think they deceived us. I think something's coming. And then Monica, in what was initially my favorite moment of the episode before the final sequence, Monica goes, "No, I'll make it through," and bum rushes the border and gets through. And the sequence of her going through, I think that was our first peek at the multiverse. I think that's what the multiverse is going to look like. I think that's what the Spider-Men are going to come swinging through. I think that's what Evan Peters is going to go running through again if he's Fox. The way it looked, where it was like the faces and the colors, I think that's it. And again, you could hear her mother giving her motivational quotes. I couldn't make out everything, but I know The last person that she heard was Carol Danvers. We've been kind of led to believe that they're on icy, they're not in friendly terms, it seems. Almost like Cap and Tony after Civil War. So maybe that Civil War 2, Monica and her, I don't know. But she's still her motivating force. The last voice Monica heard when she came back from the blip was Carol. The last voice Monica heard before she took the power to push through was Carol. They're close. I don't know what happened, but sisters fight. Families fight. They are still... I don't know what the relationship is, but it's there. And Photon is born. I believe she'll be Photon. I think her name could also be Spectre. Did I make that up? I don't know, but I wrote in all caps, Photon is born. It was a beautiful moment. I got emotional during it to see the actress playing Monica is excellent. The emotion, the editing, oh my goodness. It was a beautiful moment. It really was. I rolled a tear. I'm getting a little frazzled talking about it now. It was very... push it down. It was very beautiful. And then we get Monica and we get Wanda. It's Photon and the Scarlet Witch. And Monica doesn't flex yet. Monica just does the superhero landing and the blue eyes to show Wanda, you're not the only enhanced person here. And then Monica starts to break through to Wanda. I can't remember what she was saying. What was it? Oh, she talks to her. She says, I lost the person closest to me too. And I couldn't deal with this. And I couldn't push it away either because it's my truth. And that was beautiful. Again, like every performer, every actor in the show should get an Emmy nomination. The whole leading cast. Monica, Agnes, Vision, and Wanda, all four. Give them Emmy nominations. They are killing it. And then who breaks it up? Who wants Wanda to say submerged? Agnes. And then the best moment of the show happens. I thought Quicksilver was going to be the best moment of the season. We've been told there's another big moment coming. Oh my god, this was incredible. It was Agatha all along. Oh my goodness, what an incredible turn. We knew it was coming. We've been saying since the first trailer that she was Agatha Harkness, but that doesn't mean it wasn't awesome. Like, you can know something's coming. If it's executed well, that's what matters. And I was very happy with the execution of the whole Agatha, going back through the moments. It was Agatha all along. But before the whole sequence, when Wanda goes into the house, oh my god. It was so eerie. It was a haunted house. It felt like I was in The Conjuring. There was that cicada. Was that the bug that was on the wall? There was Mr. Scratchy, and then you start to notice the twins aren't there, but their sandwiches are, and their drinks are, and she says, where are they? And Agnes sends Wanda to the basement. And you start to see the tree branches twisting into the basement, into the witch's lair. And as Wanda enters it, you see the Dark Hold, I believe it's called. That is a book of real spells. That is real witchcraft. I shared a theory with my friends this week that I thought Agatha, would be the big bad, and her whole angle was going to be everybody's so impressed with the Avengers and all this magic and Doctor Strange. Witches were here first, and she'll be putting her foot on the ground for witches. And she sees Wanda as an opportunity. And I think I was onto something, and I think that's where we're going. Fuck Mephisto. I think Mephisto's out. There's a possibility it's Nightmare, maybe. But if it is Nightmare, it'll be like a tag on at the end to lead to Doctor Strange. I really think Agnes is the villain. Agatha is the villain for this show. And Catherine Hahn deserves that, by the way. We don't need a man coming in as the devil or Nightmare superseding this woman giving an incredible performance. Catherine Hahn deserves every moment of this shine because she is killing it in this series. She has been excellent beyond my expectations. And I think highly of her, and I thought highly of her before this. And she has exceeded all expectations. She deserves to be the main villain of this. This is a female story. Keep it female. Man. Where are the kids? Okay, so, first off, if you didn't know there was a post-credit scene, go watch it. There's a mid-credit scene. Go to the end of the animated credits before the black and white credits start, and there's a scene, and I'm going to talk about it now. Go watch it if you didn't wait. Monica's snooping around. So Wanda finds the book. Agnes comes down, and she's like, "You're not the only superpowered girl in town. I'm Agatha Harkness. Nice to finally meet you." And then we get it was Agatha all along. We get that whole thing. It's beautiful. She was the one sitting behind the camera, but it was a man's voice. Now, I'm sure she could do the voice alteration if she wanted to. She could just manipulate her voice, maybe. My big theory. Okay, so how do I want to approach this? So I'll tell you what the post-credit scene is, or we'll talk about it because you've seen it. Pietro catches Monica snooping around, or who we thought was Pietro. All through this episode, we're told he's not Pietro. Like, one of the first things Vision says is, "And who is that imposter Pietro?" Monica yells, "We didn't send him in," about Pietro. So clearly, he is directly connected to Agatha. There are two possible things. Number one, she really did rip him out of the multiverse, and he's the X-Men Quicksilver under her control, or more likely what I think is happening here. Well, God, I don't know. I don't know if this is all one theory or multiple theories. Let me get into this. So, who was with Agatha during her reveal? Mr. Scratchy. I think Mr. Scratchy is her son, Nicholas Scratch, from the comics. Nicholas Scratch, he's like a villain as well for the Fantastic Four. Let me pull up some info on him here. Nicholas Scratch. He's a wizard. That's big. Obviously being the son of a witch, but that could mean a crossover with Doctor Strange. But he is predominantly a foe of the Fantastic Four, so that could be big. But he is the son of Agatha Harkness, and I think he could be helping her. And I think the voice behind the camera was her son. I think Mr. Scratchy has been her son. Maybe the Stork is also the son. But where Evan Peters fits into all of this is weird, because my initial thought when he showed up behind Monica, I paused it and looked at his outfit. He looks like a teenager. Is that Tommy aged up again as Speed? How meta do we want to get? How in your face will Kevin Feige specifically get? Will he cast Evan Peters first as Quicksilver and then cast him over as the lead of the Young Avengers? Speed, Tommy? I don't know. Now what you might say is, well, where was Billy? Fair. Maybe we just didn't see Billy, but maybe we didn't see Billy, maybe, I don't know. But my first thought was that he was a aged up Tommy. But I don't know. We still really don't know, because he's clearly under Agatha's control, Evan Peters. I still have to bank on him being Quicksilver from the X-Men universe, and she just plucked him because, I don't know, she's just that powerful. I don't know that much about Agatha, so this is going to be new for me as well. um, but man, that final sequence going into the basement was incredible. Um, I'm trying to think what other big things coming out of this. So Agatha is the big bad, and I hope that is the truth, and I hope there's not another big bad reveal coming. This is the big bad. Whoever the next big cameo is, I don't think will be a villain. I think it'll be like a Professor X or a Magneto or something. But we have 2 episodes left now, and this was again only 30 minutes. Apparently, the rumor has it they filmed 6 hours. Or obviously they filmed more than 6 hours, but storyline would go 6 hours. That would mean they have 3 hours left. Right? Math? Math? Yeah, I think so. So we could be getting 2.5-hour episodes. That would be huge. That's basically 2 Marvel movies. Like, that's nuts. So going forward, I'm starting to think, one, the Hex is its own reality. Like, I think the Hex is the door to the multiverse. The way any big, like, there's got to be a ground zero for the multiverse. Like in Into the Spider-Verse, there was the thing that they built to harness it, that Fisk built to, like, tap into the multiverse. It would be like how the Russians set up base in the right outside the big gash of the Upside Down in Stranger Things. Like, you go to the core, and I think the Hex is the key to the entire multiverse. And I think what might be about to happen is the bubble's gonna pop, and that's when you get all of the rumored people in the Spider-Man 3 movie that are gonna show up from every multiverse, from the Sam Raimi movies, from the Andrew Garfield movies, Tobey Maguire. There's been rumors that the whole multiverse is about to explode. Fantastic Four, X-Men, everybody. And I think the Hex exploding will be the thing that rips open the multiverse and leads us into the multiverse phase. Wow, what an episode. Overall, I'm really excited. That was an awesome episode. The first 15 minutes were a little... I was like, ugh. Because at first I really thought we were done with the aerospace engineer, but even if we are, that was still a bigger thing. The fact that they made sure to call it a space rover, I don't know if it comes back in WandaVision, but I think it comes back eventually. But I think the cool thing about this episode was the scope of this show kind of came into focus. We're in the end game of this season now. We have 2 episodes left, and I don't think there's another big bad. I think it's Wanda. It's going to be Vision. It's going to be Photon Monica. I'm assuming she's going to be Photon. Maybe Carol? I don't know. I could see Carol showing up. Maybe Monica's not the only person mutating. Maybe somebody else within the Hex. We still haven't found out what happened to the Beekeeper, and his name was Agent Franklin. Is there a Franklin of relevance in the MCU? Maybe Franklin Richards. I'm trying to think of what other loose ends are still open to address. I think there were children again this week, whatever that means. So because Pietro said like the only bring them out for guest appearances, but now we know Pietro was really Agatha the entire time. So Agatha wants to know how Wanda did this. Think about that. That whole scene where she's like, where Pietro says, I'm not your husband. I'm not this. I'm your brother. You can talk to me. How did you do this? I said in my review last week, he got real serious there. That was Agatha wanting to know how this happened. I think Agatha set Wanda up. She triggered Wanda. She knew what Wanda's trigger warnings were. and she triggered Wanda into, I don't know if I want to call it a relapse, an episode. This is a diet. This feels like an analysis of mental health. I think Agatha triggered Wanda not knowing what would happen, and now she's kind of dealing with the repercussions. I think Agatha has some control, but I've said this before. I don't think anybody ever completely controls Wanda Maximoff. She's too powerful for that. Um, or maybe she's not power. Maybe she's too powerful for that, but maybe she's not yet. Maybe she will be once she realizes her kids are dead. Are Tommy and Billy gone forever? Are we done with them? I don't think so, because I still think Young Avengers is coming. Um, yeah, but I guess I'm gonna stop there. We're at about 25 minutes now. This episode is wild. I'm gonna go back and rewatch it right now, and it's 5 a.m. It spiked my adrenaline. Um, Let me know your theories down below. I'm still hoping for multiverse confirmation from Pietro, but I'm so happy Agatha is the villain. I'm so happy for Catherine Hahn. I'm so happy. Thank goodness. She deserves this. This series, it's... Keep doing it, Marvel. I'll never doubt you again. I'm sorry. Not that I did doubt you, but... Man, this is really going well. Between Monica, Wanda, and Agnes, or Agatha now, you have 3 really strong female characters competing for the spotlight of this show. And Darcy. Like, oh, I'm really enjoying this, man. So on that happy note, thank you guys for hanging out with me. It's 5 a.m., so please give me a like since I stayed up till now. Give me a comment. Share this video to your friends. I think I'm pretty well informed. Maybe I'm a little talking out of my ass because it's 5 a.m., but this is fun. I like talking, so give me your guys' theories, please. I'd love to talk to you in the comments down below. Yeah. Other than that, I will see you guys again. I'm gonna do another WandaVision episode or another WandaVision video this week in between my next reaction. I'll do a kind of in a few days after I've watched this, probably a few more times. I will do an analysis and a revisited theories. So be on the lookout for that. Thank you guys for hanging out. Goose out.